Connect now with Christopher Amaku. Christopher, good morning to you.
Good morning.
How are you doing this morning? Thank you for joining us on the program.
By the grace of God, I'm doing good.
Fantastic. Where exactly are you speaking to us from this morning?
Yes, so I'm speaking from the East Gonja municipality of the Savannah region, specifically in the Salaga South constituency.
Certainly. And do give us an update. I take it special voting is underway.
Yes, the voting started at exactly 7 a.m. and as we speak, more than 40 people have gone through the process. I've cited a lot of police officers, prison officers, and also officers from the Ghana National Fire Service who have come and have all voted so far. As we speak, the queue has gone down because most people have come already to vote and others are yet to come and cast their vote. Now, some 539 voters are expected to vote today here at the EC office in Salaga. The all the parliamentary candidates have so far visited the voting center as we speak.
I see. Now, how prepared are the Electoral Commission officials and polling stations in the area for the special voting exercise?
Yes. So the exercise is going on smoothly because the EC officers were here very early in the morning to arrange the place and ensure that everything is put in place for the voting. Right now, as we speak, so far, everything is going on smoothly. There hasn't been any complaints so far. Talk about the DVD machines that the EC officials are using, and also the people who have come. Nobody has complained about anything.
Right.
So far, they are saying that the process has been smooth and is very fast for them.
That sounds like good news. I was going to ask if there had been any reports of anyone on the special voting list facing any difficulties, but as far as you know, that hasn't been the case. It's been smooth sailing. But what is the general voting environment in the area? Has it remained calm? Any tensions? What can you tell us?
So it's been calm so far because the security apparatus here who have been deployed to the voting center have come in their numbers to ensure that the voting goes on smoothly. The atmosphere here outside, a lot of people who are not taking part in the exercise have come and they are outside. They have not had access to the inner parameters.
Right.
So they are outside observing. Others who are supposed to vote today are also inside and expected to go through the process smoothly.
Certainly. And how important would you say the special voting exercise in the area is, considering the political dynamics of the region?
Yes, it's very important because, for instance, the security operatives, they will be deployed on the election day, 7th December, to go into the interior communities to be part of the process. Now, the EC officers who have also been engaged, that is, officials who will be manning the various EC materials at the community level, the polling station level, they are also taking part in this election. So it's very important because they have to vote, and on their voting day, they will go to their various designated polling centers to supervise the election.
Fantastic. And Christopher, I'll take your final thoughts on this. Based on what you've observed so far, do you think the special voting process is a reflection of what to expect on D-Day?
Yes, so far I would say that it's a reflection of what to expect because once this one turns out peaceful, definitely and obviously we'll see a replica of what it is today on December 7th, that it comes Saturday. The people who have come here, the police have indicated to them that it's just supposed to be a peaceful exercise. You cast your vote, you go back to the house because today counting will not be done. And so even those who have come, you see political party people from MPP, NDC engaging each other from the outside and teasing each other. And so for here, we may have a few of some of the reported cases of disagreements on election day, obviously, because it has been the norm here. You have some few polling stations where there will be disagreements. For instance, in the 2020 elections, there are some polling stations that the election, the results were annulled because of some confusions. And so we have some of these areas that probably there could be some issues of disagreement, but we hope that they will be able to manage these issues when they come up so that the elections will be peaceful.
Certainly. Christopher, thank you so much for that report. Thank you for joining us this morning. Again, that was Christopher Amaku, Northern Regional Correspondent. Let's connect now also with my colleague Rabiu Tanko, correspondent, speaking to us from the Upper East region. Rabiu, good morning to you. Hope you're well.
Yes, good morning.
Where exactly are you speaking to us from this morning?
Yes, thank you very much. I'm currently at the Wasanga Central Constituency, the Regional House of Chiefs in the Upper East region.
Fantastic.
Yes, yeah. So, voting started exactly here at the House of Chiefs. Here we have polling stations A and B, and the total number is 849. Voters. I must say here, everybody is observing keenly, and as far as election observing is concerned, I'm just seeing much observer mission here, who I'm told they have been here since 6 a.m. So here, voting is very, very good. There's no any confusion or any kind of electoral, understanding. All political parties are here and are even chatting with kind of mob NDC. We have the parliamentary, we have 3 candidates, NDC and CNC. So far, all of them are here, but they are just each other. As far as special voting concerns in Central Constituency.
All right. So it sounds as though the process has begun quite smoothly. No issues as far as preparedness is concerned. Well, can you tell us if the biometric verification machines are functioning correctly? Have there been any technical hitches at all? Or you say it's been smooth sailing?
Yes. Voting process has been carried on smoothly. No issue of biometrics issue. No. In fact, everything is working properly. And the electoral materials arrived here, in time, exactly 5:30 a.m. When I spoke to the officials here. So everything is working, and then they have standby biometric machines in case of any breakdown.
Certainly. Rabiu, thank you so much for that report. It sounds as though everything is ongoing quite smoothly. And that was Rabiu Tanko Mohammed, our correspondent in the Upper East region. Let's cross over to Navrongo. Castro Senyala is on the line and on the move as well. Hello, good morning, Castro.
Good morning, Helen.
How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing fine.
Fantastic. What is the atmosphere in Navrongo this morning as the special voting is underway?
The atmosphere is serene. Everything is going on well as far as the special voting is concerned. I see a lot of security personnel and that of workers of EC and some media practitioners in queue waiting to take their chance to cast their ballots. Everything is generally going on well. No issue so far. The EC director who I've spoken to, the municipal EC director who I spoke with a couple of minutes ago described the process as fluid. He hopes that it continues this way without any technical challenges. So when polls close, for them to move them to safekeeping and wait for for 7th December, where they will be opened and counted among the other votes that will be done on December 7th.
Now, can you tell us how many people are expected to participate in the special voting exercise where you are?
In the Navrongo Central Constituency, the special voting would see a total number of 620 special voters who are expected to come and go through the process, barring any challenges. This is the number that is expected. After the time I spoke to, some 5 minutes ago when I spoke to the municipal issue director, he told me a little over 50 had so far voted, but there was hope that by the close of polls, a lot more will come and then vote so that they get at least 99% turnout.
And what can you say about the numbers of voters turning up this morning? Is the turnout lower than expected, or is it too early to call?
Helen, this morning the turnout came up pretty well. As you sit down, I can see not less than 20 people in the queue waiting to cast their ballots. In the morning when the voting started, that was at exactly 7. The queue was still the same, except that because of the security agencies having to return from night duties, it appears that it's moving slow. But the expectation is that since it's about security personnel, once they are done by midday, they'll be done with changing duties, and then those who haven't quickly come. So, according to the AC director, municipal AC director, by 12 o'clock, the place is expected to be flooded, because that is when a lot of the security personnel might have handed over their shifts and are back to work.
Fantastic. Castro, thank you so much. And of course, we will be coming back to you in due course for some more updates. Again, that was Castro Sengela speaking to us from Navrungo Central. Let's bring it back to the Greater Accra region. Engonam Haliga is in Ayawaso, West Wuogon. Engonam, good morning to you.
Hi, Helen. Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm well.
Fantastic. What can you tell us as far as the special voting is concerned? How is Ayawaso West Wuogon this morning?
Oh, at the Ayawaso West Wuogon this morning, the process has been very fast and smooth. We had, there were 2 centers. They've divided the police station to 2 centers. So we have Center A and Center B. So Center A is for voters who have their surnames from A to D, which is the ending D. And then Center B, which will allow 467 voters, that is from DU to Z. So Dubate to Zabila will vote at Center B, still at the Legon police station. So totally we're expecting about 935 voters here.
Now, what is the general mood amongst the voters and election officials?
Okay, so far it's been smooth. It's a moving process. So you come, you join the queue. So as of now, the queue has reduced. There are just about 3 in each of the centers at Center A and B. So when I got here before 7, before the election started at the Legon police station, there were already about 15 people in each line, in each queue at the center. But so far, it's been very quick. It's been very smooth. There hasn't been any hitches yet. And then engaging with the municipal officer, the municipal electoral officer, she indicated that should there be any consequences, they have backup BVDs and other materials to support them.
Well, Ayawaso West Wuogon has been a politically significant constituency. How important is the special voting exercise in the area? Hello, Engonam. Unfortunately, we've lost Engonam Haliga there. She's reporting from the Ayawaso West Wuogon constituency. So far, so good. In fact, for all of the correspondents that we've spoken with this morning, it appears that BVD machines are working all right. The voter turnout appears to be quite decent, and the security personnel have a firm handle on what's going on as far as the special voting is concerned. This is still 3FM Sunrise on 3FM 92.7.
Election 2024. This is your Election Command Center. Stay with us for all the breaking news.
3FM 92.7. Urban Lifestyle Radio Station.
Well, just 4 days away from the big election, Ibrahim Abubakar is joining us from Aswasi in the Ashanti region. That's a seat that the NDC currently holds. There's been some bickering between the NDC, or in between the two candidates who stood for the primaries. Eventually, Muntaka won that bid. Well, let's go and find out what's happening there. Ibrahim, assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam, John.
Good to have you on the line. What's happening in Aswasi in the Ashanti region?
Well, Johnny, the voting has started. In fact, as early as 6:30, all the materials had arrived, and 7 a.m. has actually been started. And here, today, the special voting, they are expecting 194 persons to come and cast their ballot. And as we speak, close to 50 of them have so far come to vote. And when you look at Ashanti region entirely, we are expecting 20,486 to vote today in 47 constituencies and at 52 polling stations. So far, so good. Most of the security agencies or security personnel have come here to vote. But, because the special voting is not like the general one where you find a lot more people at the polling station or long queues there.
Right.
Here you come and within some few minutes you'll be able to vote and go back to their respective working places.
I do know that the NDC has a firm hold on the Aswasi constituency. Muntaka Mubarak is holding that fort for the NDC. That seems to be the only opposable thumb in the Ashanti region until recently. Now, the mood on the ground, aside what you've seen at the polling station this morning, what does it say?
Well, the election fever is very high in the Aswasi constituency. This election, I might say, the MPP has taken a different strategy when it comes to their campaign within the Aswasi constituency. In fact, the parliamentary candidate for the MPP, Manasseh Ibrahim, has for the past 3 months consistently been doing community to community engagement, and he's trying to change the narrative. For the first time, they want to snatch the seat from the NDC. So in terms of campaign strategy and how they have intensified their campaign this time around, I would say it's unprecedented compared to the previous elections. On the other hand, Muntaka too is not taking any chances, even though when you look at the 2020 election results, he was able to give a gap of around 21,000. But they do not also want to be complacent, and for that matter, they are also campaigning vigorously just so they'll be able to secure the seat here. You go to Aswasi, you engage the people. Varied reasons why they'll be voting. People are talking about economic growth. People are talking about unemployment. People are talking about infrastructure development. So for now, it is not too clear, even though NDC still is convinced that they will be able to win and do that decisively. On the other hand, you realize that this time around, you get a lot more of the youth also joining the campaign of the MPP parliamentary candidate Manasseh Ibrahim, which in a way also poses a threat to Muntaka. But he says he's firm on the ground. They know what the voters have been telling them, and they are certain that they will be able to secure their seats this time around. So things are at play, and this time around, what I'm seeing, even if in an event the NDC secures its seats, it may likely not be that wide margin of 21,000 as compared to the 2020 election.
Now, the NPP is very determined to get over 80% of the votes in the Ashanti region. Aswanse is, for want of a better expression, a do-or-die constituency for the NPP because it's always been a thorn in the flesh of the NPP, even though that's the stronghold. The NDC seems to have that seat like a leech hanging or sticking onto the body of a livestock. Does it look in any way, after all the visits by the NDC and the MPP to the constituency presently, both key candidates are in the region, does it look like that's going to be a reality for the NPP anyway?
Well, Johnny, for the 80%, is going to be a very, very difficult task for the MPP to secure 80%. If you look at the numbers, even yesterday, John Mahama himself was shocked at the numbers that joined him in the walk and the eventual rally at the Jubilee Park. The numbers were huge. But it's honestly going to be difficult because there are people, a lot more people in the Ashanti region who have said they are not going to vote. And these are people who do not necessarily want to vote for the National Democratic Congress because they are traditionally aligned to the New Patriotic Party. And because they think in a way that they have not gotten their fair share of what they need, so they have decided not to vote at all. That's how come even the president himself, Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, throughout last week, during the commissioning of his project, in fact, anytime he's speaking, he's not even touching on the commissioning. He just goes straight and pleads with the people of Ashanti region to rescind their decision not to vote. The people who have decided not to vote to rescind that decision and come out in their numbers to vote. Because in an event we record voter apathy in the Ashanti region, and we all know that it will definitely go against the ruling New Patriotic Party since this is their stronghold. Because when you speak to voters, you realize that the people who are eager to vote for the opposition NDC are determined to vote. In fact, they are even hoping that we vote either today or tomorrow. So those numbers are secured. It is only those who believe they've been disappointed, who are in the camp of the NPP, who are saying they may not vote. So those things are playing out. NDC is hoping that they also secure 35% of the vote here to be able to cement their victory. MPP is looking at 85%, which I believe will be very, very difficult for them to be able to get that number, especially when you speak to people and they talk about infrastructure development, they talk about economic growth, they talk about unemployment in the region. And these are things they were expecting to see change or improved before the December 7 election. Even though there have been a number of projects that the MPP has been commissioned, especially the last minute. We know other projects have been commissioned last week. Some more will be commissioned this week. But still, people believe that they deserve more than they are getting because of the loyalty Ashanti region has been given to the New Patriotic Party. And when you look at the vote, one region, Ashanti region, is able to cancel about 8 regions. They believe they deserve more than they are getting at the moment.
Ibrahim, I thank you very much indeed for your time. We're grateful. That's Ibrahim Abubakar Mane, the Ashanti region. It is presently in the Aswanse constituency. We'll go to Lois Dogbe in Ablekuma Central. But first, let's pay attention to the Aswanse constituency. The Aswanse constituency is one of the 47 in the Ashanti region. It's considered a stronghold of the NDC. The NDC has won the seat consecutively in the past 4 elections. You talk about 2004, 2008, 2012, and 2016. In 2004, President Mills had gotten that seat in terms of the votes for the presidential election. 2008, President Mills, Professor Mills also got that. He won a lot more votes there. In 2012, John Mahama got more votes. In 2016, it appears Nana Addo Akufo-Addo got some more votes. He got some In 2016, for example, he got 39,363 votes, representing 54% of the votes. John Mahama of the NDC got 33,108, representing 45.4%. Pakwesi Ndum of the PPP got 362, representing 0.5%. And Edward Nasigri Mahama of the PNC at the time got 49 votes, representing 0.1%. If you cast your mind back to 2004, the NPP had 42.3%. The NDC had 54.9%. In 2008, the NDC had 56.3%. The NPP got 42.3%. And in 2012, the NPP had 40.7%. The NDC got 58.8%. In 2016, 54% for the NPP and 45.4% for the NDC. You go back to it, Alhaji Muntaka Mubarak has been there for the NDC. He got 39,095 votes, representing 53.6%. Alhaji Ali Seidu of the NPP, who contested with him, got 33,490 votes, more like 600 votes apart. And he got 45.9%. Isaac Baba Kompo of the PPP got 278 of the votes, that's 0.4%. And Elias Mohammed of the CPP got 111, that's 0.2% of the total valid votes. Let's turn attention now to Ablekuma Central. It's in the Greater Accra region. It's one of the regions, one of the constituencies held currently by the NDC. Abdulateef Dan, the presidential staffer, Jefferson Kwamina Saki, is contending with Abdulateef Dan in the Ablekuma Central constituency on the ticket of the NPP. Lois Dogbe is joining us from that constituency. That constituency also is the constituency where some shooting happened in 2020, soldiers and in between. Lois, good morning. Thank you for your time.
Hello, good morning. Thank you for having me.
Great. What can you report from Ablekuma Central?
Yeah, so Ablekuma Central has so far realized a peaceful election. It's been smooth and everyone is of great behavior, if I should put. So far, the registered eligible voters that are expected to cast their ballots are 856. However, from Center A and B, we can record an amount of 132 people who have so far casted their ballots. So the EC got here as at 6:20, Brookfield at 6:48, and started the process at 7:15 a.m. We've spoken to the NPP parliamentary candidate, that is Jefferson Saki, and he's happy that both political parties are vying for a peaceful election and working together to achieve that. He has the belief that everything will go well and his party will win the seat in this constituency. Right.
Great. Lois, I want to thank you very much indeed for your time, but I want to find out what mix of people did you find at the polling station? Police, military, prisons officers, fire service? What mix of people did you find at the polling station?
Police, immigration, health workers, some media professionals, a number of,
Lois Dogbe, thank you very much indeed for your time. And if you go to the Ablekuma Central constituency, that's, as I mentioned, one of the key constituencies in the Greater Accra region. As a constituency that was created in 1992, it covers communities including Abosioka, Mataeko, Latebio, Koshishukura, and in between. The electoral record will show that Gilbert Ebenezer Nina Anate of the NPP was the immediate past MP. Abdulateef Dan won that election. You look at the historical trajectory, Dr. Victor Agaji of the NCP Ayebro. He was the firstborn of that constituency. On to Clement Crab of the NPP in 1996. In 2000, Victor Okule Norte of the NPP won that. So 1996 and 2000 favored the MPP in that constituency. In 2004, Victor Kulinoti again retained a seat. This was the Rawlings era, the newborn Kufuor era, and then the second term of the Kufuor era. And then in 2008, Theophilus Tetechai of the NDC came and kicked off Victor Kulinoti. Theophilus Tetechai continued in 2012, and then Gilbert Ebenezer Nina Anate got it in 2016, but unfortunately lost it to Abdul Latif Dan, who currently is the incumbent in that constituency. Tema Central is our next stop, and George Quaining is joining us on the phone line. George, thank you very much for your time.
Yes, Madam is calling you.
Okay. Yeah, thank you so much, Johnny. And
great. Now, you're in Tema Central constituency.
Yeah.
Has everybody been able to find their names in the register?
Johnny, that's a challenge here. So I know one media guy who joined me in my vehicle to cast his vote here. He got here and then he couldn't find his name, so he was unable to vote. So it's actually a challenge here, according to the returning officer here at the Tema Central. I'm trying to sort it out. It's a challenge here, Johnny.
Do we know if this individual indeed put up his name and indicated that he wanted to embark on this special voting on the 2nd of December?
Johnny, he did that. He did exactly that. That was arranged, and he was confident that, yes, he was going to cast his ballot when he got to Tema, and then he was disappointed when he found out that his name was not in the ballot. So it's a challenge here. It's a challenge here, Johnny.
Now, what does he have to say? Because if his name is supposed to be captured on the special register and it has not been captured, it means that on election day proper, it might be difficult for him to find his name to vote.
He's here with me as standing here.
Great.
So, my brother. So, Johnny Hughes is on the line. Just shared your consent to him. You were unable to vote because you couldn't find him in the register. Yes. Can you expatiate that?
Yes, exactly. I went personally to the office, the electoral office, to go through the procedures, and then I was told I'll be voting at the Community Center here. I got here this morning, and then they checked through the register and then used the machine as well. My name cannot be found here. And so I stood there, they checked over and over. They could not find my name on the register. And that is the situation now. So I was told I had to go to Community 1 again, the police station, the center there, to see if my name would be found on the register there. That is what I'll be doing now. Unless, if that is also not done, then I think I should be voting on the general voting day. That is the situation with me as we speak.
In terms of your levels of frustration, how do you describe it?
Yes, this is frustrating because, as the media personnel, where you are posted to on the general election day is also determined by where you vote. And that is why we apply for special voting. And so as we speak, on the elections day, I'll be covering Ada and Sege constituencies. And that was channeled into this decision. So it means if I go to Community 1 as we speak and my name is not on the register on the voting day, how do I go to Tema East and vote and then go back to Ada, given the nature of the road from here to Ada, where almost every day there's traffic congestion on the road. And so this is it. It will be frustrating. And then if I would say I had to get up early in the morning on the voting day and go, it means I'll be disenfranchised. And this is the situation. So I'm frustrated, I must say.
And you vote in Tema East?
Yes, I vote in Tema East.
Now, would your editor, for example, make some considerations for you given the current situation that you find yourself in?
Well, that is what I can tell now. I need to inform office and see what can be done about it. But I think it is too late because we all know by this time all reporters have been assigned areas they will be covering, and doing 11th hour changes may distort programming. And so I can't tell you yet. I would have to inform my editor and see what he can do about the situation.
It looks like you've been disenfranchised, literally.
Exactly, that is what I'm saying. And I wouldn't like, I don't know, on the voting day, it means I have to choose between covering these elections or exercising my a right to vote. And these are the two options available to me. If my editor does not intervene by changing my place of coverage on the election day.
I see. George, get on the phone for me, George, and tell me, you were telling me earlier that this seems to be a problem that has been admitted by the senior man at the polling station. How many more people could not find their names in the register?
So as it stands now, he was the only one that I engaged. And, I'm sure maybe in ensuing hours, maybe the numbers might increase, but he's the only one that I spoke to.
George, thank you very much for your time. George Quaining is in the Tema East constituency. And you look at the Tema East constituency, it's voted in favor of the NDC on the presidential scale, 51.23% for John Dramani Mahama. That's 37.949 of the votes, valid vote cast. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo got 35,392. That represents 47.78% of the votes. If you come down to the historical analysis, in 1996, the MPP won us. It won it again in 2000, won it again in 2004, 2008, and then lost to the NDC in 2012, and then the NPP won it again in the 2016 election. That's on the presidential scale, and the NDC has been trailing behind the NPP all these years. In fact, in 1996, 50.7% of the votes, valid votes cast, that is, went to the NPP. 47.0% went to the NDC. 2000, 63.5% went to the NPP. 31%, that was a dip, went to the MPP. 61.7% went to the NPP in 2004. 36.6% went to the NDC. In 2008, 53.4% went to the NDC. 44.2% went to the NDC and the MPP. And then in 2012, 48.4% went to the MPP, whereas 50.7% went to the NDC. That's the only time that the NDC won the Tema East constituency in the Greater Accra region. 2016, 54.9% went to the NPP and 44.4% went to the NDC. Ashai Isaac Odamte is the current MP. He won with 41,663% of the vote. That represents 55.88% of the votes. On the parliamentary scale, the only time that the NDC won before this current win was in 2004. But all through, the MPP has had the Tema East constituency firmly in their grip. Nana Addo is joining us from the Owutu Senya area. Nana, thank you very much for your time. Good morning.
Good morning, Johnny.
Great. You tell me what's happening around you in the Owutu Senya constituency.
Okay, so in the Owutu Senya East constituency, voting commenced at exactly 7 a.m. at the Kaswa main police station, where a total of 1,298 voters are expected to take part in today's exercise. One interesting aspect is that we have the incumbent NPP MP for the area, Madam Mavis Hawakumsen, today acting as a party agent in the same elections she is contesting. So far, we have over 100 persons who are already done with voting and have left the center. Everything is in order. The atmosphere is peaceful and very calm. Even though this is a security area, the police have put in place additional security measures. So they placed officers at vantage points and all accesses to the police station to ensure that voters and other stakeholders are properly, catered for.
Did you say the Member of Parliament is acting as a polling agent?
Exactly, as a party agent today.
This is very serious and interesting indeed to note that the Member of Parliament is not leaving anything to chance.
So I engaged her to find out why she's taking that decision, and she's telling me that even though this happens to be about her fourth time contesting in the election, she does not want to take chances. She wants to be part of every single process to ensure that everything is in order.
I see. And how are the people warming up to Hawakumsing?
Let me say that the enthusiasm here in the Otusenya is very high, because even before 6 a.m. People were already queuing to wait for the EC to officially commence the exercise. These persons are special voters, and so just as we may be expecting, when the Honorable Member of Parliament arrived here at the police station, apart from the fact that people actually did greet her, we did not find as in people jubilating like it would have been the case if this were to be the mass voting exercise.
I thank you very much indeed for your time. Before you go, have you also spotted the NDC's Phyllis Nakoyo in the perimeter?
I have not spotted Phyllis Nakoyo Okuno, but I am told that she would also be coming to the center. But Johnny, let me also add that voting has also commenced in the Gomua East constituency, also here in the central region. And then as of now, we have about 40% who have already casted their votes. A total of 422 special voters are expected to take part in voting. The voting exercise is being held at the Electoral Commission's district office in the Gomua East district. The incumbent MP is Desmond de Graaf Paisley. He's been here in about 30 minutes ago to follow the process. He told me that so far he is satisfied with the arrangements put in place by the Electoral Commission as well as the Ghana Police Service.
I thank you, Nana Sari, for your time. We're grateful. Thank you so much indeed. Great. That's Nana Sari. They're reporting from the Otusenya East constituency in the central region of the Republic of Ghana. We'll just run you through before we get into the Sefirioso area. Sefirioso is a cocoa growing area, and you know that cocoa farmers have had a lot of issues to raise in the not so distant future. Otusenya East is a constituency, as I told you, in the central region. It's considered a stronghold of the NPP, but Phyllis Nakoyo is a new kid on the block. She wants to win that seat right there. Let's look at what the historical perspective looked like in the 2020 elections. Results for Otusenya East. President Akufo-Addo had 57,555 of the votes, representing 52.26%. The NDC's John Mahama had 51,412, of the votes that represent 46.68%. The rest will follow. If you put everything together, it will not be up to 1%. So let's not breathe very deeply about it. But then on the parliamentary scale, Habakumsin had 57,114 of the votes, representing 52.55%, and Phyllis Nakoyo Okuno of the NDC, who's in the race again, had 51,561. That represents 47.45%. So it's just about some 5,000, 6,000 differentials. And the NPP has always won that constituency, as I stated earlier, since it was formed in 2012 thereabouts. So those are the details. Now we'll go to the Sefirioso area, and our correspondent is standing by to engage us. Good morning, and thank you for your time, sir.
Good morning, Johnny.
Great. Now, Sefirioso is a cocoa growing area. Are the special voters out yet, queued up, ready, and are they voting?
Yes, Johnny, good morning to our cherished listeners once again. If you come to Sefirioso constituency, this morning the exercise is going on smoothly, and there have not been any form of chaos. And in fact, the security have also done very well, beefing up a whole tight security over here. And this morning, expected voters for Sefirioso is 397, and so far about 110 have already voted. And what is so surprising is most of the voters here are police officers. You hardly see immigration officer and other security services personnel around. So far, I can tell you with the fact that it's only even one fire officer that has come here to vote. But aside the security officers also voting here, most generally, so far it's only one journalist also that has voted this morning in Session also. And if you come here, you can see the various species. In fact, most of them are new timers. They are new timers species. Both the NDC, Skofi Bente, and also NPP, Festus Bumakama also came around to, supervise what is going on. And currently, yes, I'm talking to you, the voting is going on smoothly. There have been there have not been any form of chaos around.
Beyond the special voters, you're on the ground. That's a cocoa growing area. Recently, cocoa prices went up in terms of what farmers were going to get, etc. What are the kinds of conversations on the ground that will either move people to the polling station or keep them away from the polling station?
Okay, for people moving to the polling station, in fact, most people are always they are tired of the NPP slides and all that, and most of them are warming up hardly or seriously to come cast their votes during 7 days. They all call for change. And at the other round too, you could also realize some people are also always jubilating. They need or they want the NPP to maintain power so that their children can also continue enjoying the free SHS. And also, as you said, cocoa growing area, yes, the prices the president announced, the people here are not really happy with it, though, but they always say they will manage it like that. So what we have realized is most people smuggle their cocoa through Côte d'Ivoire to go and sell over there. As we learned, that place or Côte d'Ivoire, the prices over there are a bit higher than that of what they are taking in Ghana.
I see. Well, we thank you very much indeed for your update. I will come back to you, Matthew Ahiavia. He's a man on the... Ahiave. Great. He's a man on the ground right there. Thank you very much indeed. We go now to Mr. Wangara. He's joining us all the way in Wa Central. Thank you very much for your time, Wangara. Good morning.
Good morning.
And what can you share with us?
Yes, the Upper West region, specifically the West Central, voting started at the Circuit Court Office polling station A and B at exactly 7 o'clock a.m. smoothly. And polling station A is expecting a voter cast of 484, and Circuit Court Office B is expecting 483 voter cast in this special exercise. So combining the polling station A and B, we are expecting to have a voter cast of 967 in these two polling stations. So as we speak currently at polling station A, as at 8:50, we had 90 people that cast their votes already. And then polling station B, as at a few minutes past 8:41, we also have 120 people casting their votes as we speak currently. But across the region, according to the regional electoral officer, Mr. Ali, they are expecting over 2,000 voters, specifically 2,825 people are expected to participate in this special voting exercise in the Upper West region. But I must say that the atmosphere is very calm and the exercise is ongoing smoothly at least we haven't recorded any abnormality currently as we speak, but everything is going on well with security well ensured and the electoral process is well coordinated with parliamentary candidates, representatives also present to ensure that everything goes on smoothly in Wa Central constituency, specifically Circuit Court Polling Station A and B.
Dr. Rashid Pelpo is in the race again. Who is he contesting with this time round?
Yes, Dr. Hassan Rashid Pelpo is having a keen contest with Haji Yahumu Awodu of the New Patriotic Party, MPP. And this time around, considering what happened previously before this, today's exercise, it appears that Rashid Pelpo is having a tough competition because you recall that just 2-3 days today, we got information about NDC youth camps within the municipality or constituency defecting to the New Patriotic Party. That is to say, they declared their position to vote skirt and blouse because they said they will vote for John Dramani Mahama, but will not vote for Dr. Hassan Rashid Pelpo. Rather, will go for the MPP parliamentary candidate. So that has made Dr. Hassan Rashid Pelpo not comfortable, and then he's seeing this contest to be a tough one. Though last night in our engagement, he was optimistic of winning the elections, but it does appear that he's not too much comfortable with what is happening currently in the constituency.
I thank you very much indeed for your time, Ibrahim Wangara. Grateful that you could join us with the updates, and we'll keep giving you some more detail as we travel along. This is your Election Command Center, live on 3FM 92.7, your urban lifestyle radio. Ghana decides. We're beginning with the special voting. Look at the Wa Central constituency, the two contenders in the 2020 election. Dr. Rashid Pelpo of the NDC, Haji Yahumu Awodu of the NPP. How did things fare in 2020? The NDC had 39,542 of the votes. That represent 53.9%. Haji Yahumu Awodu of the NPP had 33,340, representing 45.4% of the votes. Of course, PPP and LPG, but their votes put together would not even amount to 1,000 votes, less than 1% for both of them. So we'll focus on the top two. The NPP had 45.4% in the 2020 elections, and then the NDC had 53.9%. If you look at the 2020 figures and the 2016 figures, 2016 figures, and the MPP had 24,748, representing 43.6%. And then the NDC had 25,319 votes. If you compare that to 39,000 versus 25,000 in 2016 and 2020, as against the NPP's 24,000 and 33,000 in 2020, you see that the NPP made a gain of plus 1.8%. And then the NDC upped its game by 9.3%. The Wa Central constituency, by the way, has always voted for the NDC since 1996. Will things change in 2020? I don't know. But Helen, let's look at what the constituencies have been telling us. So far, it's been peace and calm.
That's right.
Aside Tema East, where somebody couldn't find their names, everybody is voting, all is well. What does it tell you?
Well, it seems to suggest that the EC is prepared, at least from what we have heard from our various correspondents, for D-Day. No issues apart from that one incident that we know so far. Maybe the day will end with some more issues that the EC can take back and look at and improve on. But so far, so good across the board.
So far, so good. We'll take a break here. When we return, there's more here on your Election Command Center. Today's special voting is the 2nd of December. And we have only a few days to the big election. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
It's 5 days to election 2024. This is your Election Command Center. Stay with us for all the breaking news.
Electroland's Black Friday and Xmas Bonanza. Xmas came early. Black Friday is here with amazing offers you won't believe. Get a Samsung 32-inch LED Smart TV for just 3,299 Ghana cedis. Cool down with the Samsung AC starting at 6,499 Ghana cedis plus a free blender. Need a fridge? Grab a TCL top mount for only 3,299 Ghana cedis and get a free deep fryer. The Media Top Load washing machine is just 2,499 Ghana cedis plus a free 5-gas burner. Enjoy Netflix in style with the NASCO 50-inch Smart TV for only 4,999 Ghana cedis and get a free NASCO karaoke speaker. Rush to any Electroland showroom or dealer store across Ghana for huge discounts and free gifts. And don't miss the Achedie Kessie promo. Win double every week and monthly. Electroland, your home for affordable electronics and appliances.
The presidential and parliamentary elections 2024.
As part of Elections 2024, the Electoral Commission will conduct a special voting exercise for security officers, media personnel, and election officials who have applied and are on the special voters register and have duties to perform on election day. The special voting exercise will take place at designated centers in our 276 constituencies across the country on Monday, 2nd December 2024, between the hours of 7 a.m. and 5 p.m. Please note that all these activities will be conducted in the presence of political party agents, domestic and international observers. For further information on the special voting exercise, visit the EC website or the EC office in your district.
Presidential parliamentary elections 2024. Your vote is your future.
The most comprehensive election coverage.
Top-notch presenters and well-versed analysts.
Dedicated reporters and correspondents in every nook and cranny across the country.
All the action, every incident reported.
All the big stories covered.
All facts cross-checked. Every figure verified.
Every vote monitored and accounted for.
The numbers tallied, analyzed, and interpreted.
We have invested time and energy in order to bring you a comprehensive elections coverage.
The whole world will be watching us on TV, online, and radio.
Election Command Center. Facts, analysis, results.
It's 5 days to election 2024. This is your Election Command Center. Stay with us for all the breaking news.
The most comprehensive election coverage.
Top-notch presenters and well-versed analysts.
Dedicated reporters and correspondents in every nook and cranny across the country.
All the action, every incident reported.
All the big stories covered.
92.7. Cross-checked. Every figure verified.
Every vote monitored and accounted for.
The numbers tallied, analyzed, and interpreted.
We have invested time and energy in order to bring you a comprehensive elections coverage.
The whole world will be watching us on TV, online, and radio.
Election Command Center. Facts, analysis, results.
It's 5 days to election 2024. This is your Election Command Center. Stay with us for all the breaking news.
To about 2016 and a year no free a buying. And then or say open source and babium. Open source and babium. Open source and babium. Open source and babium. Dear Ben Odiba. Dear Ben Odiba. A doom so ana. Anaya confirm. Anan kukon kitting. And then Odiba. Chavay, or say why one why a Juma sing. Let me be son say, unti economic data asiana. Usha, jobs. We have created more jobs than you. We have done more agriculture than you, more industry than you, more roads than you, more railway than you, more airports than you, more hospitals than you, more classrooms than you, more fiber optic cable than you, more courts than you, more sanitation facilities than you, more Zongo development than you, more public libraries than you. And in every corner of the globe, no more than you. Now, also, who dear, why you massing? And in the American say, would you who they say, why you massing? Bra, na yenye debate, none on one, bra, na yenye debate. Because I'm bra yenye debate, no, Osuro, we Johnny to send go on getting, we Johnny.
Sɛ me so da ya Kumasi ne way Ezo Eza Me si obi nyane me so da ya na Kumasi ne way Asante man ne way anyway there Entina Dr. Baumian to be nano. Entina Omina Omoda almost so Mahama Hodai. Omo Bekasa na Lidi FCF Omanum. Afi Abato Ayebetui. Bibi ABC Ewa Santimaiha. Eza Mote Nyoma and Jum to for the Betoriano.
And those were signs from John Dramani Mahama. Before that was Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. There are 2 forerunners in this election as we move forward into 2024's big general elections. Just to guide you, if you want to check your registration details on the electoral register without going to a polling station, you need to dial a *711 *51 hash *711 *51 hash to avoid disappointment. It's important that you do check and confirm before you get there. Dr. Rashid Tanko, computer, is joining us on the phone line. He's the Deputy Director of Elections. Doc, thank you very much for your time. Good morning. You represent the NDC. Now, the Electoral Commission says that in the Western region and in the Eastern region, the special voting will not happen because of something that was brought to their attention by the National Security, a defaced ballot sheet. How does that sound to you?
Very well. Let me say good morning to your cherished listeners and to you yourself, Johnny. I must say, yes, we are not surprised at all because we have a very crooked electoral commission, which are out. In fact, all the activities are towards short-changing Ghanaians. Well, the die is cast. They can't do anything about it. Whether they like or not, their collaborators will lose the power that they are holding us off now. They will lose it. They will lose heavily. In fact, the NPP will receive the heaviest defeat in their lifetime. This coming election, December 7th, which is just Saturday. Clearly, this thing, we've been monitoring it, especially the checkpoint. We have a lot of intelligence surrounding the activities of state actors towards checkpoint printing. And then so this one didn't come to us as a surprise. What came to us as a surprise is that the propaganda twist put to it that one defaced ballot paper. It's not one defaced ballot. You tell the people the truth. People have stolen ballot papers from checkpoint. They should let Ghanaians know.
They have what? They have done what?
Call their attention. They've stolen ballot papers.
Wow.
That is the truth. Which defaced ballot paper use? What defaced are they talking? They should say it as it is. They have stolen ballot papers. They've stolen it. They know them. They have arrested them. They should let Ghanaians know those guys. Because these are enemies of our democracy. The people who want to steal the mandate of Ghanaians, they are involved in this. And then they should expose them and expose the public. They should stop doing propaganda about it. And so these things, we are not worried. We are not surprised. They will continue with these activities, whether they like or not, they will lose. We are monitoring them. They've stolen ballot papers. They want to manage their way and find their way to it. Look, if they try it, Massa, this time round, you near break, papa.
Now, this postponement, because of this anomaly, which you say is not just one defaced ballot sheet, but because people have stolen ballot sheets, has this information has been kept from us by the Electoral Commission, if it's true or anything to go by? I find that strange.
The most strange aspect of it is when they say one deface. That one deface. That's one deface. You are calling over thousands of ballot papers across 2 regions. Don't forget, just about 4 days or 3 days ago, from Kufridwa, a bag containing ballot papers was opened. I'm sure you saw the video circulating in social media. And that the police had to even issue a statement that the content was intact, only that the seals were broken. Who broke the seals? How are you convincing me that the content was intact? There are ballot papers. Somebody can remove 1 or 2 the ballot sheets from it. And you will see a whole booklet and think that the content is intact. It's not intact. All this in they know. You see, they are doing a lot of propaganda. But you see, it won't help them. Propaganda at this time will not help them. Their credibility is already in tatters. So it's for them to celebrate their credibility by coming clean, come publicly and let people know the reality of the matter. They are doing propaganda. It won't help them. In any case, there are even more issues. Look, yesterday I was in Ashanti region. My brother, that regional director, has asked the commissioners, they should call him to order. This morning I had issues with them again. He's there arrogating some powers to himself that he doesn't have. Can you imagine he was preventing our officers from putting seals onto the ballot boxes that carried materials for the election for today? NDC should not put their seals on it.
Why?
Have you ever heard that story before?
No. But why?
And that is the question we should be asking them. These are the things they are doing over there. You're saying that they shouldn't put seals on the ballot boxes. You put ballot materials in a box, you put registers, you put ballot papers, you put pink sheets, and all the other materials, indelible ink, validation stamp. Then you ask that NDC should not put their seals on those ballot boxes. Criminal.
Were the other parties allowed to put their seals on that was
not our interest. Our interest was our NDC.
Right.
Whether they allow them or not, our interest is to put NDC seals. Master, these are basic things we do since 1992.
Right.
These are just basic things. It's not issues we should contest at all. So when I called the commissioners, they were shocked.
I see.
All of them were shocked. That this man is doing. I said, this is what your man is doing there. When they call into order, this morning they look again. There is something we call validating stamp.
Right.
When voting is to start in the morning, all the party agents, the serial number of that validation stamp is given to each of the party agents there. And it's recorded on the pink sheet, on part B of the pink sheet, before voting starts. So that everybody knows that this is the stamp that we are using for the validation of the ballot papers. This man instructed all the people there not to give the validation stamp number to anybody.
Wow.
Where is he getting those instructions from? And when I called the attention of the commissioners, they were shocked. I said, call him to order. So if you hear trouble in Ashanti, it's your director of elections.
So eventually, were your agents allowed to affix their seals onto
they were
the
allowed
box?
after the intervention of Mr. Samuel Titi.
Right.
And this morning, the same thing, I had to call him again for him to intervene, for them to allow them to take the serial numbers of the validation stuff. Why? I don't continue to be calling the commissioners to be instructing him to do his work.
The Electoral Commission announced yesterday that there will be another opportunity for those who could not vote today because of the situation in the Western and the Eastern region to be able to vote ahead of the big election on Saturday. Some have raised concerns about deployment issues, especially for security and for the media. What do you think?
Well, it's just the 2 regions. There's the Western and then Eastern region. There are security agents who make amends on that aspect and see how best they can align their deployment strategy in line with this. So all this stress being put on them is by the EC. They are the cause of all this mess.
The Western and Eastern region are historically strongholds of your opposition, the NPP. And some of your members have raised concerns that why the Western and Eastern region that has always voted blue for the NPP. Are you as concerned as some of your members are?
We are, of course, we are. That's what I'm saying, that we are. We are very much concerned with what is going on there and the outcome that we are getting from the issue. And so we have even raised our action plan to red flag to what is going on there. We've moved it from orange to red because we are not going to allow anything untoward to happen to Ghanaians' mandate. We've seen that this is a clandestine move to steal the mandate of Ghanaians, and we are not going to allow it.
Dr. Rashid Tanko, I thank you very much indeed for your time. We're grateful.
I'm grateful.
Great. That's Dr. Rashid Tanko Computer. He's the Deputy Director of Elections and IT for the NDC. It's 35 minutes after 9 here on Sunrise on 3FM 92.7. Well, listen to Evans Nimako. He is Director of Elections of the NPP. Listen to him.
A few days into an election,
we will urge the security to up their game, ensure that those involved will be made to face the law. I think that this is a heavy decision, and because of that singular act of those people, you've had to put people who have made arrangement to cast their votes, to change their arrangement again. You've had to go through this exercise again, time and resources, because of a certain slip that allows somebody to pick a ballot. So there must be full investigation into this, and anybody with information should assist the police to get to the crunch of the thing.
According to the electoral...
That's Evans Nimako. He is Director of Elections of the New Patriotic Party. Before him, you heard Dr. Rashid Tanko Computer, Deputy Director of Elections and IT of the NDC. Well, the Electoral Commissioner, Jean Adukwe Mensah, yesterday addressed the presser to announce the rather sad news for those who had prepared to vote today and also get deployed and dispatched to their respective stations outside Accra or outside the Western region, wherever it may be, or outside the Eastern region. Listen to the Electoral Commissioner.
Led from National Security regarding the missing defaced ballot paper at the Checkpoint Printing House, the company responsible for printing the presidential ballots for the Eastern and Western regions. With no clear explanation for the supposed theft, the Commission has decided to reprint all presidential ballots with added security features.
It has been agreed by all the Commission and all the parties that because the printing house, Checkpoint, also printed ballot papers for the Western region, those ballot papers should also be recalled and printed. And I'd like to note that this was arrived at by the Commission and the political parties, and so there has been agreement here. Therefore, the ballot papers for the two regions, Eastern region and Western region, will be destroyed by burning, and a new reprint ordered starting today. It is important to note that in order to ensure the integrity of the ballot paper, the Commission will introduce new security features onto ballots that will be printed for the Eastern region and the Western region. In addition to that, the serial numbers for those ballots for the two regions would be revised. This is to ensure that there would be a marked difference between what has already gone and what has already been printed and what will be printed starting this evening.
Due to this, special voting in both the Eastern and Western regions, originally scheduled for Monday, December 2, will now take place on Thursday, December 5.
So that's a sad story for some of the people who had intention to vote. Dennis Miracles Aboaji talking about cost of living, and the cost of living is going to take center stage in the elections going into the 2024 December 7 election. Listen to him.
Today, we are talking about the depreciation of the cedi against the dollar. Look at the pound against the dollar. Look at the euro against the dollar. Go to the United States. They are crying over the cost of fuel. They are crying over the cost of their living expenses as against their income. Go to the UK. It's been barely 2 weeks, and the people of the United Kingdom are already passing a vote of no confidence in their finance minister and their prime minister. Today, I read that Netherlands is around 17% in terms of inflation. If you go to our neighboring countries who are usually anchored on the French economy and have been doing so well over the period, today they used to record 0.5%, 1% of inflation. Ivory Coast and Co. are doing 5%, 6% inflation. Turkey, one of our major trade partners, where we import a lot of things from today, are doing 80% inflation. Alfred, the experts are here. We cannot pretend as if this is a unique situation to Ghana. That notwithstanding, we can also absolve ourselves from all the blame. And I've always said it. I said it the last time Sabi and I were here, that the situation we find ourselves are partly our own domestic doings, but largely also as a result of the global pressures. Because if not for the unforeseen global pressures that we've suffered in the last 3 years, yes, we have our own challenges, we have our own mess that we are dealing with, but I don't think we would have gotten to the point where we are now, because we would have been able to manage and sail through.
Dennis Miracles about 2 years ago. There's lawyer Martin Kpebu, private legal practitioner, and regular on Key Point on TV3, also on 3FM 92.7. Listen to it.
I'm coming to Bossman Asari. Bossman Asari, who taught his students, said NDC is an existential threat to Ghana's democracy. A professor, that NDC is an existential threat. Oh, initially, those days it looked good, right? Until Akufo-Addo came and performed far worse than John Mahama. Then we said that, what this professor said is rubbish. Yeah. You see, those days, because he was said that MPP were elite, yeah, they were supposed to be better. But now we've seen that John Mahama, who is not a lawyer, has performed far better than a lawyer. I mean, that's where my pain is. Really elite? No. Yeah, that was the narrative. That's yes. Are they really elite? And that's why I'm talking about the year 2000. So I'm looking at the pivotal. You see, starting from 2000. Yeah, those days. Maybe if you were in here. No, I know yeah, 2000. Trying to emphasize. So it was said that NDC, they were made up of the masses, veranda boys, etc. So if you're in the university, remember Professor Jampo, those days, hey, you didn't want to see anything close and be associated with NDC at all. If you're in the university, elite, as a university student, you thought that, yes, you belonged with MPP. But now time is shown us that Mahama, who is not a lawyer, has performed far better than Akufo-Addo. But are you surprised? When Akufo-Addo went to University of Ghana, he didn't do well. Akufo-Addo was a struggling student. Was it third class or pass? You see, in 2008, when Atta Mills was there, all these records were brought out. Then, eventually, you see how God too behaves. That's my problem with God. Atta Mills was annexed, he died. Then these bad boys, they live longer. That's the irony in life. So my point is that Akufo-Addo came to University of Ghana, performed very poorly. Poorly, 10th class, was he a pass? Such a person, do you think becoming president, he was suddenly going to become Solomon? Do you think somebody who made that grade, 3rd class, was he a pass in economics, was suddenly going to become an economic messiah in government? No. So that's why we chose. We're hoping that, having less school, some people may not do too well in the classroom. They come into the field and they excel. And so because he had those few cases, just like those ones I've won in the court, MPP versus AG and the rest, so we thought the man had transformed. It was even later. Look, Justice Kulendi, when he's teaching his students, he said he wrote those submissions, the cases that Akufo-Addo won. Kulendi said it. You ask lawyers who have been graduating in the last few years. Yes, when he teaches, he says the submissions, MPP versus AG, those cases, he wrote them. So it means Akufo-Addo just read. So for me, the time he was coming, because he had won those cases, I thought, with those submissions, then the man is transformed. It turned out that he passed. You see, in 2008, when Atta Mills was there, all these records were brought out. Then, eventually, you see how God too behaves. That's my problem with God. Atta Mills was annexed, he died. Then these bad boys, they live longer.
I think Pebu has a problem with God as well. Not just the government, he has a problem with God. Okay.
You will recall that I stated in 2014 that if the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you. That was true then, and it is true now. It is 100% correct. So if the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you. But it is warped logic to jump from that to a conclusion that if there is depreciation in your currency, then the fundamentals must be weak. Do you understand the logic?
Bossman Asari.
It is very warped logic. If the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you. But if the exchange rate moves, you cannot jump to that conclusion that the fundamentals are weak. That defies logic.
Right there. Hogre Bachidankwa is the government spokesperson on security and governance. Had an appeal to the Electoral Commissioner. Listen.
I am very troubled with the behavior of the Electoral Commission. Why is that? You see, in this country, when people are going to write examinations, you take your exam questions to a securitized printing press. Mm-hmm. Often people are not even aware of where the printing press is or which agency is doing the printing. And then when the printing is done, there's supposed to be verification of every question before it even comes out of the printing press. Mm-hmm. I'm concerned that printing houses are making mistakes with serial numbers, and printing papers, ballot papers are being sent to EC, and EC is deploying and later asking for those ballot papers to come back. I mean, these things are unpardonable, to be honest. And I've shared my frustrations about these issues on many platforms. This is a very important election, as all elections have been. It's a very important election for the New Patriotic Party. We want to make Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia the next president of the Republic of Ghana. The Electoral Commission is the only body that all of us that will vote next week, Saturday, would have to use as a medium to make that decision on Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia becoming the president of the Republic of Ghana. So a few days to the election, and we are having these challenges. I think that, you see, Electoral Commission, we beg you, okay? We want a transparent election. We want a free and fair election. We want the Ghanaian people to know that the decision they have made is reflective on the announcement you would make. So please, spare everybody in this country the tension and the anxiety and all the butterflies that are flying around. Spare us all of that. On Monday, 2nd December, we have special voting that is going on, or is going to happen. I hope we don't have any issues with serial numbers and any issues with ballot papers. But I have to really express my disappointment with all these issues of serial numbers and the fact that some ballot papers have to be bent for political parties to assemble and to be watching. Oh, please. I mean, I think we've come very far. Okay, Madam Jane Mensah, we beg you, please.
Well, join voices begging the Electoral Commissioner, Madam Jane Mensah, so that all will be well. This is the only country we have. It's only 4 days to the big election. Live on 3FM 92.7. Some election tip coming your way in a bit. There are some 10 things that you need to know before and after you vote. Number one, you go to the polling station, confirm your details if you have not done so already. And I entreat you to use star 711 star 51 hash. Star 711 star 51 hash. Make sure your name is in the register. And they'll take note of you, and that note of you have complained about, but there's very little that we can do about it. On On the day of election, that's Saturday, go to your polling station even if you don't have your voter's ID card with you. Some of you may have misplaced your voter ID card, but you go to the polling station anyway. Join the queue in an orderly manner, no noise making, no trouble making. Respect the instructions of the presiding officer at all times. You go through the verification process. Your fingerprint is checked, and then when you receive the ballot paper, check that the ballot paper has been stamped. Official validation stamp at the back. Check it. Be sure so that your vote counts. And then you make sure that your choice is made in secrecy. Don't tell anybody your choice. Don't take a photo of it. Don't video it. It's an offense to reveal a choice or take a photo of your choice. Then you cast your ballot and leave the polling station. Fold the paper vertically after voting and then drop it in the ballot box. You can observe the proceedings from a distance away from the polling station if you so wish. Or you can go home and come back after 5 p.m. to observe the counting and results and declaration. If you do this, I'm sure that you'll be policing your vote and also be ensuring that you are contributing to the democracy of our country. Just about 10 minutes to go. Let's afford you an opportunity to call us into the show. 055-924-2717 and 055-691-0154. 055-924-2717 and 055-691-0154. Your chance now to be heard. Most authoritative election command center platform, 3FM 92.7. Good morning.
Good morning, Master Johnny. This is your brother Jaffe calling from Westland again.
Yes, sir. 30 seconds for you. What's on your mind?
I'm very much excited, Master Johnny. Please, I just want to inform we all citizens of Ghana that if we give the mandate to a person that we choose and the person that we want, I think the Electoral Commissioner cannot do anything to violate what we have decided. So for that matter, we want all the citizens to think about how and what is happening in this economy and to do the right thing. And
thank you. Your point is made. Grateful. Good morning. 30 seconds for everybody.
Good morning, Mr. Hughes.
Yes, sir. How are you, New Achimota?
I am Ben from New Achimota.
Talk to me.
Okay. I want to speak about the conduct of EC.
Right. Quickly, 30 seconds.
The ballot paper that they are now saying that there is an issue with this at the Eastern region and the Western region.
Right.
Has it been bent, and was it bent in the presence of the political party again?
Okay, question well asked. We'll look for the answers. Question. Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, sir.
Danny.
Yes, boss.
Yeah, this is Danny.
Talk to me. 30 seconds.
I don't understand why the EC is not educating people about that number 3 position, the Exadon-Cost position.
They promised to do that too. They have not done it.
Whilst our information have been given to political parties to send us useless messages whilst we are hungry in this country. What is the meaning of all this? What is the meaning of all? They shouldn't send any useless message to anyone. We all know what is happening. We go to the market and we can't afford to buy food stuff.
Okay. Thank you.
So what is the meaning of all this?
Chairman, drink water. Sorry. Okay. Sorry about that. Good morning.
Hello. Good morning.
Yes, sir. How are you, boss?
Yeah, please, I'm fine. How about you?
I'm greater than Accra. Talk to me.
Oh, okay. I'm Martin from Spintex.
Okay. Yes, sir. Let's hear you.
So, the mistakes that they are committing or that is happening at the EC, Prince, has this not vindicated what the guy on who TV said?
Well.
Senior, has this not vindicated what the guy on who to me TV said? You see, anything that these people plan to do, they know it among themselves. I'm telling you for a fact, they know it among themselves.
I see.
Somebody should come. Thank you.
Thank you very much. 055-924-2717 and 055-691-0154. 055-924-2717 and 055-691-0154. Good morning.
Yeah, hello, good morning.
Yes, boss. How are you, Chairman?
Yeah, please, fine. Please, I need a code to check my vote.
*711 *51 hash.
Please come again.
*711 *51 hash.
Okay.
*711 *51 hash.
Okay, all right.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Good morning, Johnny.
Yes, boss. How are you, Chairman? 30 seconds. Talk to me.
One else from EC.
Mm-hmm.
If they are doing to let the citizens know, they are calling journalists to come and do to take over that place to let everybody to hear what is going on over there. But now he's denying the journalists not to go and do that to.
Oh, they say they have repented. Now they say they have repented.
They do what?
They have repented. They will allow.
Are you sure?
Yes, they will allow.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. 055-924-2717 and 055-691-0154. 055-924-2717 and 055-691-0154. Good morning. Yes, sir, Uria.
Good morning.
Morning, my brother. How are you?
I'm doing very well. How about you?
Greater than Accra. About that way.
About that way.
Amen.
I just called to say good morning. It's been a while.
Yeah,
and to all those that are going to vote, Ghana has bigger land to bury us if we die. So we should use our senses. We all have one vote, like you've always been telling us. So go out there if you want to go and vote and do justice. Come back home and observe.
Right.
No need to engage in any unnecessary fight or argument. God bless our homeland, Ghana.
Bless you too. Make us great and strong. Hello? Hello?
Good morning, Mr. Yus. I am back again.
Yes, sir. New Achimota, how are you?
Yes. I'm fine.
Right.
So with this kind of discrepancies, Johnny, I am asking another question. How sure and how can the EC convince us that what they are doing is transparent? And on the election day, me, Kofi Krafa, talking to you, Johnny, when I vote, I will never go home. I will sit down to protect my vote.
Hey.
And I urge every citizen to do the same thing. To sit down quietly and protect his or her vote. That's any violence. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm Ike from Domi.
Talk to me, my brother.
Yes, please. The man who is begging the what's the name? Madam Jean Mensa, right? He shouldn't try to pour that in our eye.
Oh.
Do the woman beg us to pay her? No, she don't beg us to pay her. So why we have to be begging her to do the right thing? Why she know the right thing to do? So they shouldn't try to make us feel like we have to beg her for her to do the right thing. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, my brother. Two more, 055-924-2717 and 055-691-0154. Hello, I go low, I follow him.
Thou says the Lord.
That says the Lord. How are you?
Johnny, I'm very hot too. I'm very hot.
30
Johnny,
seconds.
I want to ask this question. Why? The democracy we are practicing, that if you own that democracy.
No, please.
Where is this thing coming from? That you decide the kind of media houses that you want to cover the election. What's this one?
Hey.
I mean, this electoral commission is the most incompetent that we have seen ever in our history. Johnny, I tell you, if Charlotte was sacked as a result of procurement, this one that Mesa has done, Johnny, I beg you. And I want the EC to know that the Ghanaian people, we fought and defeated the British Army. Our mind is made up. Anybody that tries to tamper with that, Johnny, God bless you.
Bless you too. I'm grateful. Final caller. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Johnny. This is SK from Amasamu.
Mr. Hughes is listening to you.
See, I made comment on this thing earlier.
Yes.
During my first call.
Yes.
So another one has bounced back. Any steps this woman takes, there's a question mark. So Ghanaian, I think we should call this woman for scrutiny. We should invite her for scrutiny.
I hear you.
Thank you.
Okay, SK, thank you. We can't pick any more calls. Should we invite the AC for scrutiny?
Invite them to for the scrutiny.
That's what SK says. They invite the woman for scrutiny.
Okay, we have to do so. I mean, everybody's asking what is going on. They want some concrete answers. At every turn, there's something wrong, something not quite done right, something amiss. It's getting one too many. And with the clock fast ticking for 7th December to be here, it's not great. It's not great at all.
Well, we have to go, but first, some birthday wishes, right?
Agua Numframa Ayade, Ayanu Ba, and Mini First Lady Kasa. Ne ye Kasa Kakra, ne camera no Abaguyasu. Madam Lordina Z, founder, sir, and a boom nim. Indeed, indeed, Wayne Dina, Ubetina, Mintelu. There be a boom in the home. Tamangaza. Daniel Semikaza Zua, not Daniel Sir, where was Zaneto? Or Wabuena, so a person was there, Diana, no Papa Beka.
The best in the morning is on 92.7, Sunrise on 3FM.
Your friend Osulagata.
92.7.
Happy birthday to